Good morning. It's 10 a.m. on the 7th today of September, end of week 2, Saturday the 6th. I don't know if that's right. No, it's the 7th. Anyway, that's okay. So many things to think about. You get the obvious basic stuff wrong. Does not matter. Anyhow, I started a little bit early. So I'm doing some. Do you have a pen? Today is day 7 of week 2. So we are going to fill out the chart. And some of you might be thinking, but hang on, I thought we were using the digital charts. We are, but also we're going to fill out, there's the link just there. Print it out. Make sure you print it out in landscape format, because I want to tick the boxes and put it in an envelope. And I should have had an envelope here to show you on right week 2 on it, and then hide it. Anyway, so those of you that saw yesterday, I'm going to play a long tone for a minute. And I need to do something. I need to turn this off so it doesn't disturb us. That should be right. So, again, so I'm topping out at about 4.5 most breaths. So I'm wondering, I used to do it 20 years ago. Not getting any younger. Does the lung capacity reduce by a bit over years? Yes, it does. Is that a reason for only getting up to there? Maybe, maybe not. But it's going to be interesting over the next 3 weeks to see if it develops. Because I used to be able to get it right up to above the 5,000. As yet, I haven't been able to do that. Now, while I'm on the topic, the cheaper version of the Voldine, but it still does it's the same result. The resistance training, isometric, expansion incentive spirometers. They're good. We're training our body to expand and experience different sensations, and I use these religiously. And so you'll see the WinPack at the shoppy shop. You can get them there. You can get them somewhere else. I don't care. Save me a trip to the post office. But they're here if you want them, and I just highly recommend them. What else is in it? Breathing tube. Even though these days I tend to do that, but you've got a breathing tube that goes around your neck, some wind sticks, which I haven't even sort of demonstrated even in the course yet. I think they're another great psychological trainer. Anyway, I'm going to do a couple more and do the long tone. So it's very, excuse me, it's very consistent at that 4,500 mark. Now, I didn't do my valves, which is very disappointing. Anyway, so I'm going to play a long tone and hopefully break the minute mark, because I want to just go, okay, I'm cool with the minute, and then see what happens when we do the harmonic slurs. This is the first note, by the way, for the day. It's going to sound scratchy. It's not going to be focused. But it's a breath control exercise. You can already tell on some breaths that you're not going to get that full expansion. So you're going to get the full duration. I think I started at the 7. I think I started at the 7, but I don't remember. But anyway, that's the job done. So play a long tone, and now you can hear that, lots of interference, lots of lip not letting go to the reflection of the energy. That's okay. So then you might be new here today. We're doing a lot. We're filling out the practice progress charts. If you haven't registered and started doing your Largo status stage through the Windworks course, you need to do that. And that will save your progress here in these charts. If you're not registered, logged in, then you'll come back tomorrow and the squares won't be there, or it'll look like someone's hacked your account because there's all these other squares. But no one's hacked your account, don't worry. And click it again and it's gone. All right, first thing we do. Familiar or foreign feeling. Familiar or foreign feeling. If it's foreign, you need to learn it and embrace it into your playing. That's the feeling of playing all over the horn. I call it the body's concert hall. Then I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. I'm going to keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it over and over and over again. How hard is it to do this? Now that is a passive reduction. Passive meaning I don't have to be active. Just let it out. We're using that until we have to be active. But I want you to be aware of the difference between active and passive. Then the 4 steps to get the visualizer, mouthpiece, lead pipe, and instrument onto the face. It's the same as going moo. I want you to recognize the inward horizontal movement of the aperture corners. For regular guys, yes, I'm going over it all again, but I don't care. You might hear something you haven't heard before. The aperture is the opening. So it's the corners of the aperture. That I'm concerned about, because it's those tweaks, tiny tweaks, that stimulate the next note up and the next note up and the next note up without going like that, pinching down in the middle of the lip. All right, and what we're also learning, there's airflow. There's the airflow. You can make, as you can hear with the voice, a massive sound with the body using passive reduction of the breathing system without pushing. Massive sound if we don't tighten up. And if we want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords, here's my demonstration. There's nothing going on. So we're impacting the air in the pipe. We're not blowing through the pipe. The air in the body is vibrating and the lip is responding to that change in the energy. Biggest problems with brass playing. I'm going to sit here and just say it every day for the whole 5 weeks of the challenge. Overblowing, pinching the lips. And does one cause the other? Yeah, maybe in some way. That's what we're on the lookout for. So how do we avoid it? We recognize the feeling of it. We understand the science behind it. Then does the rim interfere with the airstream? You just have to do it a million times to become familiar with it, comfortable with it. Then I have a lead pipe here somewhere. So many toys. The lead pipe doesn't come in the wind pack, they're separate. So we get the sympathetic oscillation of the center of the lips. Sympathetic meaning natural, uncontrolled, in response to, versus synthetic, which is manufactured, artificial. It's just unnatural, it's gripped. So I want sympathetic vibration in the middle of the lip as opposed to synthetic. All right, once we've got that. And then a very cool transition to the horn is to put the valves down and keep your eyes closed so you know that you're not manipulating the process. As soon as you're going to pick up the instrument, you're going to go into player mode and go, I know how to play these notes. And you might have some notes in mind, and then all of a sudden the body's pre-programmed for a low C to, use this much and this much and this much. And then a middle C to use this much and this much. And then a high C to, it's all got to go. It's all got to go. It's all got to go. So we put the valves halfway down and we copy the process that we just did on the lead pipe. Now this is all explained in absolute detail, step by step by step by step in the course. So just take a risk and start working through the course. It'll make a lot of sense to you. I'm just really quickly touching on the concepts, but you really need to firstly understand the Largo status stage, inside out, upside down. Then you just work through the Adagio and Dante Moderato levels, and we touch on all this. And then it expands, and people will freak out because it's not very high at the start. But your foundation is being built right now. Then we strategically work through with all these cool exercises, singing C exercises, my favorite ever. Excuse me. Yeah, it'll make sense to you once you get it and work through it. So let the air back, let the trumpet sound back into the mouth. What on earth? The lips, the sound that comes out of the horn is a combination of trumpet and body, air in the body, air in the trumpet. And so to add the trumpet, just say I've got air at my lips. as soon as I open the lips, the energy wants to leave the body because of that reduction. But what's happening is we're energizing the air, and that the reflection from the pipe, the energy back from the pipe, from the bell, thanks to atmospheric pressure and the change in pressure from high to low, comes back into the bell. So I'm going, open your lips and let the trumpet sound back in that way. And then you'll feel that there is no blow. There is no blow, no active blow. There is a transferal of energy, but there is no, if you think of the word blow, it is blow out a candle, active, blow your nose, active. This is not active. This is energizing air. So we really want to have that concept covered, because when we use the tongue at the start of these, when we start going faster, the minute you release I'm releasing the air by opening the finger, the lips there. It's no different to this. Fingers are the lips. And you go, soon as there's no squeezing of the balloon. Here's the balloon. It's exactly the same. And so when we use the tongue, and then we want to get that movement of the tongue to synchronize, just the split second after you move the tongue, you've got a shape change in the lips. Ow, ah. So I do a lot of this, wah, 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 to get you to recognize wah, nothing, ooh, something, ah, nothing, ooh, something, right? That's the essence of your harmonic slur. The lip will be moving a little bit to trigger the higher frequency, and don't blow. You'll have to engage the body as you go for longer, but that's not what stimulates the note. It's not what stimulates the pitch change. You do not get pitch change from blowing faster. Just watch back through the first 2 weeks. I say it over and over and over and over again. So on that note, I'm going to start at 144 again. And I'm just going to do note by note by note. And I'm looking for 40 seconds. I can already feel a bit today. So good luck, Greg. Anyway, see what happens. So I'm going to do each single box. You don't have to do this. It's a good idea too. Five seconds. 10 seconds. 5. So I'm watching the clock there if you're wondering why I was waiting. And weird. You might only want to fill out a couple of boxes. You might only want to be here for 5 minutes. So go across to your fastest. Can you tick a box? Go to your longest. Can you tick a box? And then move on. But given it's day 7, and we want to have as many boxes as we ticked, many boxes ticked as we can for moving into week 3 next week, and then being able to judge our development, I'm going to go for it. So that was 10 seconds. And again, we're about improving our playing, expanding. 15. And for those of you that were here last night, I just was struggling. I just thought I'm going to come in real quickly, do it. Flat out day, went out last night. It's like, sometimes practicing is tricky. Once I got into the room, started doing it. It's great. Loved it. And felt so good afterwards. And if we do that, this is more of what the challenge is about. Can you practice every day for 5 weeks? How much do you want it? "20 seconds. And I might even keep going. So there's 30. And I want to get, was it 40 that I needed? Sorry, brain like sieve. I'm at 144. Yeah. So it feels like technically it's okay. It's just going to be combining the breath and the shape change and just keeping everything cool. So stupidly, it was the breath that ran out. Now you can hear it waver. Sometimes it's really in control, and sometimes it's not. Now you've got to recognize the tiny amount of air pressure that's going on here. So the sound's not always great. It's rarely great. It's not about that. Of course, we want it to sound good, but we're using such limited air. We're on the brink of no sound. What's the purpose of that, you might ask? Allowing the middle of the lip, no matter what the movement here is, allowing the middle of the lip to be loose and free and respond to however little air is moving. So then when we give it a little bit more air pressure for playing whatever it is that we're playing, just a little bit, the sound's going to be fine, you know. But it's just that balance. We don't want to be pinching. Simple as that. So I couldn't tick that box. I was almost there for 40 seconds, but I only got to 35. So, alas, that one's for next week. So I'll go to 138 now. And I'm going to go straight into the length, the time limit. So what we're looking for, speed limit, 1 beat speed limit, time limit. It doesn't matter what speed you're up to, doesn't matter what your duration is. It's a personal challenge to expand what we've got. Don't worry about anyone else. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Be aware of what you are, accepting of what you are, and work on just improving your own thing. You've got no one to impress. Don't worry about it. Just own bit of self-satisfaction of achieving something new. And it all comes from less work, not more work. It's not strength that's going to get you to the next level. It's efficiency and letting go, getting the body out of the way, letting the air do its thing with as much mental or physical interaction with it, just letting only the things that need to work. The breath in is active. Besides falling off the chair or dropping your instrument, tiny change in the chops, wah, 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 wah. What can we let go of? The 1% rule. Less work, more sound. 138. And I think I need 40 seconds there as well. Yeah. Cool. So actually get 2 tick a box. Hang on. 138. Yeah, 40. Good. We like that. Little bit of change each day. Just a little bit. Extra 5 seconds at a faster tempo means that the body's becoming more comfortable with the. So it's not a breath thing. There's the proof. It's not a breath thing. It's keeping the body, the balance for that duration, keeping this moving, even when you're getting right out of air. So, excuse me. Here we go, 152. $35 I need. That's 10. So I was just doing it too loudly. I could tell that I was not going to get close. So it was 30. And I only needed 35. It's disappointing. Cool, so tick another box. 35. Good. But, you know, don't be too keen to... Oh, hang on. No. Maybe that... When I put the metronome down, it changed the tempo a fraction down to 148. So can I tick that? Maybe not. But anyway, I'm not going to get caught up on the small stuff. So It's 152, 138, so 132. Ouch. 132. I need 55 seconds. Very dubious about that at the moment. So what? Isn't it strange that out of the blue, a couple of days, over 60 seconds, and now still peaking out at that 45.50. Things to think about. This is what we're trying to discover. 132. And don't panic. When was the last time you needed to play a note for 50 seconds or a minute? Just the ability to be able to do it's a good thing. Here we go. Lo and behold, 55. Takes work to stretch to the limits, but it's good to do. Good to do. So you notice at the start I did a couple of really big deep breaths. So it's kind of on the way to hyperventilating, so you're getting more oxygen in the system. And the lip can supply, can rely on, it's really soft. Lo and behold, that's how it works. It's good practice. Do I want to be able to have to do that all the time? Of course not. But if I can get my natural breath expanded 1%, it's not going to hurt playing in general. So there's an obvious, real dramatic drop off here when we get up to 160 from 152. Have a look at the gradient here. That's what we're looking for. It's really, really amazing, huh? So all through here, it's not a breath issue. It's just an awareness of what needs to go on here. 160, all I'm after is 25 seconds. Clearly that's not a breath issue. So we'll do a preparatory exercise here. Might seem weird, I don't care. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Now, turn the voice off. So the little movement. There's the feeling of the exercise. Wah, wah, wah. So when you can experience it away from the demand of trying to play it, then we can transfer the feeling and the sensation of doing that onto the horn. There's a couple of little hiccups through there, but that was 10. So you'll go through phases. These metronomes are mad. You'll go through phases where it feels really familiar and in control, and you're like, oh, I can just keep doing this forever. And there will be times where it feels completely and utterly foreign, and just you've got no control over it. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. So I'm going to have one more go at that, because it was feeling nuts, but then all of a sudden when you find that point where the smallest movement just clicks the harmonic up, that's what we're looking for. And consider, never in my life, ever, I've never done this before, taken this approach, done it in this way. So I've never done a harmonic slur in my whole life for 160 for 25 seconds. That's a really cool thing to know, something to work on. Structured, smart practice. So logic says if you can do it once that easily, you can just keep going forever. What happens? That's not even near it. So I'm just not going to be able to click that one this week. Maybe next week. Oh, now what I was supposed to be doing is going along and filling this out as we go. I won't waste your time with it, but basically then 160, I'm up to 125, so get pen and come on to this. Do tick, 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 tick. And I'll do a little bit of work on these for next week to make them look a bit better. But I couldn't get 25, so I've filled it out. It goes into an envelope at the end of the day. Put it in a safe. Put it in the roof. Put it wherever. Do the same for last week. If you've still got your digital chart, go back, print out one of these, and fill it out. In 5 weeks' time, you'll be quite surprised at the development that you've made. I guarantee it. I would love right now to look back at week 1, because I know it's developed a long way since then to now, but I'm not going to look. And of course, it will be diminishing rate of return, but constantly even just pushing our boundary, not even breaking it, is a good thing, you know. But ideally, we're aiming at getting all of these boxes all done at 60 beats. How cool would that be? It would mean that you've got quite an efficient technique. Playing will be easier, more satisfying, more fun. Awesome. So 132, so I'm up to 126 now, and I need 50 seconds. So again, empty, Don't do it till you get dizzy, but crazy. I'm pretty sure I started on the 5, which means a minute. That's cool. That was cool. And if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was. Now I'm confused. 126 for a minute. I'll have to go back and just double check that, but I'm sure I started on the 5. And that's how it happens when you least expect it. So now up to 168. If I couldn't do 160 at 25 seconds, why can't I do 168 for 25 seconds? No reason. That's really funny. That's really funny. That's really funny. That's funny. That's funny. Anyway, okay. 120. 55 seconds. It's good to be able to still tick boxes on the last day. Constantly making improvements. Oh, what am I up to? 120. 55 seconds. And I'll just double check I know exactly where I'm starting. Squeeze it all out. Madness. That was over 65 seconds. Cool. That hyperventilating thing, it works. Have I done that every day? Nope. But I didn't expect that. So that's cool. 176. For 15 seconds. And let's do the, just jump across, make sure we don't have any questions. No, everything's cool, good. What? So that, I've got to stop doing that. The tongue movement that I did there is just the feeling of subdividing the beat into 4. But that's not what's happening when we're changing the pitch. If the lips aren't doing it, it's not going to happen. Wah. Wah. There's the feeling of it. I just kept going and I didn't really look at the clock. But it felt like it locked there for a while. It was good. I'm going to stick with this for once it all locks, you can tell at that time where you feel the click, it's a do. There's nothing happening. It's the movement's so slight, but as soon as I nudge the air or make the movement too big, you lose it. So we're looking for that focus, and I can feel that it's there. And I break it down per second again. Just can't keep maintaining it at that tempo, so that's okay. 116. Cool. It's not easy, but I can already feel it paying off just in my regular playing, preparing for this gig I've got this week. It just makes you sit back more. I don't even have my excuse me, my lead set up here. I went out and had a jam the other night, but just the approach, sitting behind the horn, opening up the concert hall, releasing. It's a different feeling. You know what this is doing. You've been training yourself to not push the air. So it just becomes more of a energize the air. I introduced to you guys yesterday my bugbear lick in that. It's as simple on the body as going, but I've got a mental block on it, and whenever I put it into that section, it just clags up every time. So we just have to do it over and over and over with good process. And it just, it kills me. It's freaking hilarious. I cannot double tongue that A. Anyway, doesn't matter. It just amuses me no end. 184. I'll get it one day. I mean, I'm never ever going to play it in public, but just the personal challenge of recognizing these little gremlins that get into the system kills me. But the ability to be able to play that allows me, to whatever level, just allows everything to unlock no matter what style of play you are, what kind of music you want to play. So again, 184, if I couldn't do 176 for 15 seconds, why can't I do 184 for 15 seconds? So there's just that. There's something about this time. Just can't do it. Can't do it. Maybe next week. All right. So we scoot across here. Now that I did not expect to see today. 108. Check across, no issues with the streaming, no, good. That was 70 seconds. Cool. So again, it's not about how long we go for. I find it fascinating to look at, just to observe the body's response and the fact that that's going on. Forget the numbers, get the ego out of the way. It's an observation of, wow, isn't that interesting? That's crazy. Like that does it. It's extraordinary. The way the body can develop, the way the body can learn, the recognition of the shape thing, the efficiency. I'll just keep raving about it because I think it's wild. 192, 10 seconds. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I could clearly keep doing that for as long as the breath would allow. You can do it there, you can do it here. There is a difference when the lip in the middle starts to vibrate. Total difference. So that's really cool to recognize. So I think I've pretty much cooked my speed limits there. I'm kicking some goals on the time limit. So we're back to, what's that, 100 we need to get for the minute. I would really love your feedback. If you've been doing it every day for 2 weeks, how is your progress going? Is it developing? Are you feeling benefits? Are you recognizing inefficiencies? Have you been able to do every day? Even fill out one box, even not fill out a box, but come back and try and fill out a box. Are you able to focus and dedicate that amount of time daily? Even how long does it take to pick up the horn and try and play faster or longer? You can do it in 2 minutes. The challenge is coming back daily and working on something strategically in technical development with pure process. Couldn't quite squeeze out the minute. Isn't that funny? All right, couple to go and we're finished. Can we break the 5-second barrier for the first time ever? Who knows? Given a couple of the things that have happened today, anything's possible. What? So again, that might be for next week. And 208, straight into it. That's a lot of harmonic slurs in a day. I know that you don't have to do that many, but last day, what the heck. So I'm going to go through, fill out my chart, going to fold it up, put it in an envelope, put it up in the cupboard, and be exciting to grab it out in 3 weeks' time and see how much it's developed. If you're coming on this journey with me, you are going to get benefits. It's a hard sell. People think I'm mad, but my life is about sharing this stuff with you because it's different and it works. And if you come with me on the journey, you are, as I said, going to get good results. Happy Saturday. I'll be back at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I'll get the date right on the page. Got some cool videos I want to show you. And we'll continue on our journey. This could be the most productive 5 weeks practice you've ever done. Might be for me too. Pretty full on, but it's fun. Have a great day. Love yous all. See you next week. Or tomorrow.